Hey guys, this is the second part of how to draw a Jurassic Park velociraptor. So yeah, we're gonna focus a little bit on details in this video. So we're gonna start with a line going from here up with a curve and then going that way. And another line which is almost about over here, going that way. A little bit of shadow over here, something like that. And let's see, another line going from here, actually extending all the way to about over here. Alright, and we will draw a couple of lines over here. Just pick this piece of paper and put it there. Alright, there's gonna be a line over here going this way and then going down. Another one over here doing almost exactly the same. And we could put some lines over here. And then over here as well. Darken this line a little and put some lines and just some random details into it. A lot of lines over here. A line over here. And maybe darkening this line a lot more. This needs to be a little bit more like that. Alright, that looks pretty well, pretty good. Then this line needs to be darkened in also a little. And then a lot of shadow goes into this area. Alright, a lot of lines actually from over here. And a few lines going down from there as well. And we could darken in this part. And put in those kind of lines, but most of the detail we're gonna do later on with the 4B pencil. We're just now focusing on some lines actually. here it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then like that. And there's also a lot of shadow. Alright, and then this line goes like this, and then it goes slightly up over here, touching the arm. And there's another line extending from there, doing exactly the same, going up and touching the arm. And then this line we'll have to make it a little darker so it's more clear to see. Alright, let's see. Darkening this just a little, and a little bit of shadow over here. And then refining this elbow. And there's also going to be a little shadow over here. Another line going to that side. Alright. And then there's a lot of shadow over here. And there are a couple of lines over here. A lot of shadow over here. And then there's this line. With a lot of stripes, a lot of tiny little lines that it's connected to. There's another line over here. And the same story. A lot of tiny little lines that it's connected to. Another one over here. This one goes something like this. This one goes all the way down to this part, and just a lot of shadow. A very high amount of shadow over there. There's also a line over here. And a line over here, which is connected to this part, and this part should be darkened in completely. Then we could connect these lines almost. And these ones as well. And there's also a line going from here all the way till this point of his tail. And it stops about over here. And then there's a line that does the same thing, goes also all the way to there from here. Alright, a lot of curved lines, which should be shadow indications, and also coming from here. But it might be better to do those with the 4B pencil. Alright, yeah, so let's switch to the 4B pencil. Now I want to focus on the scales over here. Right away. Stops about over there. And then there's another line over here. And now I can just go over everything that I just did. That's why I didn't want to put in too much detail yet. Well, there is already a lot of detail right now, but it's not so much detail that I can't go over it anymore. It would take like ages. So I'll be back when I've done everything with the 4B pencil. Okay guys, I'm back, and I actually erased those lines because they weren't right, I believe. I didn't really do them the right way. Maybe I'm supposed to go a little bit more like this. And then like this. A little bit shadowing lines over here. A few going like this. A little bit over here. And then these lines should be like this. And then just draw in these kind of lines. Almost like randomly. Just a few over here. That makes for a bit of detail. And also a few over here. Alright. And do the same over here, but now going up. And over here, also going up. And then over here, a little bit curved to the right. Just continue on doing this until you're at the end of his tail. Or actually her tail, because all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are female. Except for the third part. Alright, now we're gonna focus on his belly a little more. Maybe a few more lines over here. Just to get the detail into it. A little bit more shadow over here. Alright. This might actually be the only line I forgot. A lot of shadow over here. And then a lot of shadow going this way. This part is actually quite dark, so I'm trying to create it to be very dark. And of course it needs to be darkest at the bottom. Alright, and now just a lot of shadow over here. And then just go back to the lines again. Alright, so we're almost about finished with the drawing right now. We still need to do his neck and his back. There's my dog again. And a lot of lines over here as well. just make something like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure you put in the effort, actually. Put in, make sure you show that you put in a lot of effort into it. Those lines will create an illusion of great detail into the drawing. Because when you take a step back and actually look at your drawing from a little distance, it really pays off. Alright, start at the top of his neck, just create these kind of wrinkles and lines and detail. Alright, now a bit of shadow over here, just a tiny little bit, and a bit of shadow over here. We could put some small details into his head. Just some very small details. Okay, so I believe we're about done. Yeah, we're pretty much done right now. So yeah, this was how to draw a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. And if you, I hope you actually enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it. And so yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Yeah, so this was Time as a Drawer, and goodbye.